Today is the 7th week of the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge, and I made a delicious chicken the other day. That was the first day. That was on Sunday when I made that chicken. Very appropriate, Sunday chicken. And it was in a crock pot. You can watch that video. I also made some zucchini bread. It's a savory zucchini bread that marries very well with soups. So today I'm making something that just fits along perfect with the Pantry Challenge. We harvested a whole bunch of tomatoes over this summer and early fall, and we put them in the freezer. We're using up the rest of those tomatoes to make a fresh tomato soup. We are making homemade tomato soup using tomatoes from the garden that we put in the freezer last fall. I'm going to run hot water over these tomatoes. And start peeling off the skins. See, the skins come right off in the hot water. The water's not as hot as I thought when it mixed with the cold frozen tomatoes. I might have to run some more hot water. And I'm running more hot water. And then I'll save the skins and put them out in the garden for compost. My husband actually helped with the processing. He cored the tomatoes when he harvested them in the early fall. I went ahead and put the tomatoes on the board, and they still need to thaw a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and cut them in half. And you can cut them in half while they're still frozen. These are still partly frozen, but that's okay. We'll just roast them a little bit longer, probably for about 50 minutes. I'm just going to put a little olive oil on the tomatoes. A bit more olive oil. And use your hands if you like. Hands always work out better for mixing things like this around. I also have some garlic cloves. I'm going to put drench a little olive oil on the garlic cloves. I'm not using as much as what it called for because I'm running low on garlic cloves. I've got the tomatoes on 2 parchment-lined sheet pans and the garlic too. I'm going to go ahead and roast the garlic just for about 25 minutes and the tomatoes or 45 to 50 minutes. And that's at 400 Fahrenheit. I removed the tomatoes. They were very well roasted. I need to saute some onions in a pan. So I'm going to have to transfer these tomatoes over here. This is how I have to do it. This is really hot, so I'm not going to do it any other way. And I would pour liquid if I actually took this pan and poured it over here. So I'm just going to take my time and use the tongs. And here's the garlic I removed after roasting for 25 minutes. And I'll be squeezing this into the tomatoes to make the tomato soup so that we'll have the garlic flavor. I'll be squeezing it out of the shell or the skin there. Sauteing some onions. We'll add flavor to the tomato soup. You can also roast onions, but I didn't do it. I have garlic. You could roast onions and garlic for the tomato soup, but I just roasted garlic because I knew I was going to use an onion for sauteing. And I'm just going to transfer the tomato over to the pan. It's still very hot, and it would be awkward. I would probably spill some of the juice on the floor if I transferred it from the tray directly. The tomatoes will cook about 15 minutes. I'm going to add the garlic from these garlic cloves. I'm just going to peel this. It's not squeezing out the way I thought. I'm just going to take the skin off and throw it in there, and it will just have to blend up everything. There we go. It said in the directions to squeeze out the juice from it. Maybe I misunderstood it. See, this isn't making nearly as much as I thought it was going to make. This is after 15 minutes. This is supposed to be tomato soup. I'm going to go ahead and add some of the seasonings. This was parsley that I dried in the oven. So just dried parsley. It was from the garden. A little basil, a little Lowry's, and we can always season after we taste it also. So I don't want to add too much, especially I don't want to add too much salt. I'm smashing that garlic, and I want it to be in little pieces. My husband likes it with milk. I'm not a big fan of tomato with dairy products. I don't know why, but he is. So maybe I'll do that. So we've got about 7 minutes to go, and then I'll be adding some kind of liquid, maybe some of that chicken broth, or you can add vegetable broth, and then you can add milk. We have homemade chicken broth from the crock pot chicken we made the other day. I'm going to add that to the tomato soup. With a little liquid, it's blending up very nicely. This is working very well. And I'm going to put a little sugar in here. Not too much, but my husband, well, a little bit more. He loves me to use sugar to make it tomato sweeter. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of milk. I just didn't grow up with it. My mom, when she made tomato soup, and it was from the can, like Campbell's, she just used water. But she was really frugal. And water was cheaper than milk. That's probably why. Actually, I think it needs lemon juice. Yeah. I think the roasted tomatoes took out some of the acidity flavor. I added sugar to this and lemon juice. So I'm just cooking this for about 10 to 15 minutes. I believe it has a really good flavor now. I added a little more sugar to balance out the lemon juice that I had added. Oh, it's coming along very nicely. I like it like this. It's thick. My husband, though, he may add a little more milk to his. That's fine if he wants to do that. This will be for lunch, homemade tomato soup. Zucchini bread that I made the other day. It's savory zucchini bread. And I already sliced a couple pieces, and I microwaved the bread to warm it up and added some butter. So we're going to add that to the soup for a garnish on the side. And here's how I'm going to eat my soup for lunch. Now you can toast the bread, or you can cut it up into croutons and put it over the soup, or you can just skip the zucchini bread and have a grilled cheese sandwich like my husband will probably do. You could actually make a bruschetta out of this also. Let's give it a taste test. That is really fresh, healthy, and delicious. Thanks for watching today. I hope I inspired you to use something from your pantry, refrigerator, or freezer to avoid food waste and make something delicious and homemade. God bless each and every one of you. I'll see you on the next one.